So we're live on YouTube and we are going to be starting our webinar on Zoom as well. Today we have another classroom, Sunstone online classroom experience on the right body language in an interview, right? This also is a very integral part of tracking that interview in the right way. And we, as all classrooms have, we also have some students from various Sunstone campuses as well. We have a faculty today with us who will be joining us very, very soon. We'll give a minute's lag for the students to join in on YouTube as well as on Zoom. Right. So today's session is about the right body language in an interview. I think the right body language in an interview is very important to get that first impression in the right way and to make sure that, your interview goes in the right way, in the right format. And today's session is about that. Right. And hey guys, this is me, Harmeet Sahadev, and I welcome you to the third episode of the Sunstone Online Classroom Experience. The Sunstone Study Cards, episode 3, as I said, the right body language in an interview. We will begin shortly, and I would want to know how excited you are on the YouTube section, how excited you are to learn something new today, right? We're beginning very, very, very shortly, right? Tell us in the comment section on the Zoom, on the YouTube chat section, how excited you are for the session today. Right. Hey guys, we are back with a new season of webinars where we bring life to you every week, the Sunstone online classroom experience via Sunstone Study Cards. In the first episode, we dive deeper into the creator world, and in the second episode, we dive deeper into the analytical world. In the third episode today, we will talk about the non-verbal communication and the right body language in an interview. Right. As I said, body language is one of the most important things to crack and ace that interview in the right way and putting it forward in the right direction. In short, we will help you get the first impression right and acing that interview. In this webinar, we will cover the following: non-verbal communication and body language, impact of body language, and building a positive quotient. To cover all this and to answer the questions in the classroom, we have today as our guest lecturer Aparna Kaul, Faculty Training and Development. Hi Aparna ma'am, welcome to the webinar.
Hi Harmeet, hello everyone. Good evening everyone. Thank you Harmeet for giving me this platform. Feels great to have a live session with the budding corporates. It is intriguing to see how we have evolved as learning and development professionals by tapping into these virtual platforms. We are reaching out to more and more students, or should I say the enthusiasts, and these live classrooms are a reflection of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aparna ma'am, for joining us today. Aparna ma'am is an experienced communication trainer with a demonstrated history of working in the hospitality industry. Skilled in trend analysis, operations management, trend forecasting, retail and fashion illustration. Strong operations professional with a Master of Management and PR focused in management, public relations, marketing management from the University of Madras, and has trained various students in the training and development section and made sure that those students, pass out with flying colors and ace that interview right. So welcome to the webinar, ma'am. Moving on, we have 3 students from the 3 Sunstone campuses today. Now, who are these 3 students? Our first student in the class today is Kiran Pillai, 2021-23 batch from the Sunstone Sandeep University, Nasik campus. Kiran is born and brought up in Nasik city of Maharashtra and has completed his graduation in BCom and even cleared his intermediate group for the Chartered Accountancy exam. And then he decided to pursue his MBA in HR and Finance, and he looks forward to being a great manager in future. Hi, Kiran. Welcome to the webinar.
Good evening, ma'am, and thank you for introducing me.
Lovely, lovely to have you. Our second student in the class today is Sumesh Kumari, 2021-23 batch from the Sunstone JD Goenka campus, Gurugram. Suresh Kumari from Haryana has done her graduation in the Bachelor of Science and is pursuing MBA from GD Goenka campus and aims to learn and grow in the management environment. Hi, Sumesh. Welcome to the webinar.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be the part of first Sunstone online classroom experience. Thank you so much to invite me.
Awesome, awesome. Our third student in the class today is Mumadi Kirti from the Sunstone St. Joseph Hyderabad campus. Kirti defines herself as a passionate, sociable person. Her strengths include being punctual and always trying to upskill herself no matter what. Hi, Kirti. Welcome to the webinar. I think Kirti is on mute.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for introducing me. It was very exciting for us to learn even more. Thank you, ma'am.
I think there's some network connection error. Okay, okay. Thank you, Kirti. Hopefully, you can hear us. I can see a lot of people on Zoom raising hands. Moinuddin Khan, Bodha Kantu, Vamshi Krishna, Gaurav Bharti, Himanshu Sakya, Samriti Sharma. Hi, guys. Welcome on Zoom. And to all of you guys watching us on YouTube, hi, and a very, very warm welcome. At any stage in time, people on the Zoom, if you want to directly talk and ask your questions to Aparna ma'am, please raise your hand and we will make sure that you have a platform to talk to ma'am directly, right? And now, and this goes same for the YouTube attendees as well. If at any point you want to ask any question, please make sure that you type that to us and my backend team will make sure that those questions receive to us, right? And now when our attendance is full and the guest lecturer is in the class, let the class begin. Aparna, we will first play the explainer Sunstone video related to the topic, and then we will give the class to you for 10 minutes. Now, I would like to request my backend team to kindly play the Sunstone Classroom Explainer video. Sunstone Study Cards is where you get an online Sunstone classroom experience with a guest lecture session every week, followed by a panel discussion with the current students in the classroom. This explainer is a part of the Sunstone Study Cards. When you walk into a job interview, what impression do you want to make on the interviewer? You want to show that you are experienced, intelligent, enthusiastic, and committed to your work. These are the qualities of an ideal job candidate. But did you know that even before you get a chance to say anything, the interviewer will form an opinion about you? They will read and interpret your body language to see how confident, enthusiastic, and focused you are. Nonverbal communication is a key part of the communication process. This includes body language, facial expressions, and vocal cues. According to a research conducted by Albert Mehrabian, a psychology professor at the University of California, only 7% of a message is conveyed using words. This means that 93% of communication occurs through non-verbal communication. Let's find out how you can use your body language to appear confident in interviews. You can use the SOLAR framework. SOLAR is an acronym for sit squarely, open posture, lean forward, eye contact, relax. Sit squarely. Try to position your body so that you face the interviewer squarely. This will make you appear open and attentive. Open posture. Crossing your arms and legs can be a sign of hostility or conflict. So sit straight with your arms and legs uncrossed and your feet flat on the floor. Lean forward. When you lean in towards the interviewer, it shows that you are interested in what they are saying. But don't overdo this. Make sure you return to a neutral sitting position. Eye contact. Maintain frequent eye contact with the interviewer, especially when you answer questions about yourself. This signals sincerity and helps build a connection. Relax. Practice using the tips given so you're relaxed and confident during your interview. Being relaxed and at ease is a sign of a confident candidate. Now let's look at how you can use your voice to make a strong impression on the interviewer. This is another important aspect of non-verbal communication. You can use the 4Ps tool to modulate your voice. The 4Ps are pitch, pause, pace, and projection. Pitch. This refers to how high or low your voice is. Keep your voice at an even pitch. Pause. Use pauses when speaking. Take a moment to think before answering complex questions. Choose your words carefully and structure your response. This will help you formulate good answers and will show that you are serious and thoughtful. Pace. You may be excited to answer questions in the interview, but don't speak too fast. If you rush through your response, it could be seen as a sign of nervousness. Speak slowly at an even pace. Projection. Project your voice so you're heard clearly, but make sure you don't shout. Practice projecting your voice without straining yourself. Remember, having the perfect answers to interview questions isn't enough. You also need to use the right body language to make a good impression on the interviewer. Pay attention to your non-verbal cues, your posture, eye contact, gestures, and voice modulation. This will help you ace your interview. Thank you. Thank you so much to the backend team for playing this video. Now I hand over the class to Aparna ma'am to take over.
Thank you, Harmeet. Moving ahead, taking the video forward. Well, what is non-verbal communication? What is body language? We just saw in the video that it is only 7% of a verbal communication which matters, wherein the remaining 93% is our body language, which consists of your facial expressions, your body, how you are projecting yourself. So body language refers to a non-verbal signal that people use to communicate. It can be unintentional, and trust me when I say most of the time it is unintentional. And it creates a very stronger impact than your verbal communication. So what all do you need to keep in mind? Tone of your voice, hand gestures while speaking, eye contact, ensure that you make a positive eye contact. Posture, now how you're sitting. Are you slouching? Are you sitting straight? And tilting your head while attentively listening or nodding in agreement or disagreement. Elaborating it further, sitting upright means you're attentive, whereas slouching, closed arm, can be perceived as defensive or indicate that you're not interested in the conversation. So let's talk about the impact of body language. Body language is a strong factor that impacts how people perceive you. Be it an interview, workplace, school, family, get-togethers, etc. Have you ever noticed that in a group of, say, 10 friends you have, you will always go to one friend of yours who you feel is listening to you, is attentive to you. It's not only because he's listening, it is how he projects himself in front of you. Body language, a positive body language helps to reinforce and emphasize the message you're relaying and creates additional meaning. However, body language can negate certain assumptions if the non-verbal cues you are conveying don't align with your verbal message. To prove this, I would like to share an example via demonstration. So, for example, while talking to you, I am slouching and my voice is very low and I'm talking to you in a lower pitch. What will happen? You will soon leave the session. Why? Because you'll be bored. You will not be interested in what I am saying. So going ahead, let's go how it is going to impact in an interview. See, like I said earlier, body language is a strong factor that impacts how people perceive you. When I say perceive you, matlab, how do they see you? Be it, so when you go for interview, the first thing what happens is how you enter, right? So from entering, from to sitting, to shaking hands, this all comes under body language. And believe you me, when I say that an interviewer, a recruiter is gauging you from the moment you enter, and how you say, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am, may I have a seat? How you look down, how you sit, where do you place your hands while talking, how you move your hands. All these things are taken in consideration when a recruiter is looking at you. So being aware of one's body language can create better communication while interacting with people, especially when you go for an interview, like I said earlier. So most of the time, I come across a lot of people in an interview wherein they sit cross-legged. Now, it's good to sit cross-legged, but you tend to be fidgety while sitting cross-legged. Why? Because you will always have your toes, right? So you will keep moving your legs, or you'll keep rocking your chair. And these are considered as sign of nervousness. Well, I'm sure you weren't aware of this. But also, another important thing I want to share with you. We humans tend to like someone who can mirror us. So, a very important tip. So, when you see a recruiter and you're talking to a recruiter, try and mirror the gestures the recruiter is doing. Don't overdo it. Okay. So, like I said, if the interviewer is tilting his or her head, slightly tilt your head. If the interviewer is talking, try and copy the pace the interviewer is using. So, moving ahead, I do want to share some tips with you. Relax your shoulders. When I say relax your shoulders, so square, keep your shoulders in a square position. It will help you relax. Breathe in, straighten your back, lean in slightly. Don't lean too much. Either you can lean forward, but do not go backward. Why? Because if you go backward, it will feel that you are lazy and you're not interested in the conversation. And if you lean slightly, have you seen the news readers? When they talk, they are slightly leaning forward. Why do they do that? Because they are trying to show that they're closer to you, and also that they are into the screen. They're trying to build that contact with you. Uncross your arm. So don't cross your arm ever while speaking to someone. Smile, very important and lethal tool. Mind you, if you do not smile while talking, people will be bored of you and they will start looking away. Make a proper eye contact. It is very important when you're talking to someone, try and look into their eyes. I do not mean to stare, Avoid staring. Then, like I said, mirror your interviewer, use hand gestures, nod periodically, because that way what will happen, that the person will think that you're attentive, you're listening to them. Speak slowly. When we speak, we tend to speak faster. It gives an impression that you are nervous and you're constantly trying to finish your conversation. So it is very important. So while talking to anyone, you have to be very slow and deliberate so that people can read and understand what you're trying to say. And there is more clarity. Check your tone. It's very important. If you do not check your tone, it will become very monotonous and boring. Like I just did that for you, right? So maintain a proper distance. I come across many people who tend to come very close while talking to me. It is unintentional. I am not saying that you tend to do it deliberately. It is unintentional, but we do not know that. We have a space around us, and we should not try and intrude into somebody's private space. So maintain a proper distance. Sorry. So another important thing, I come across a question when students ask me, ma'am, should we have a handshake or not? So what do we do in case we are not aware that we have to shake hand with people? In that case, try and copy the recruiter. If you feel, if he or she has initiated a handshake, do handshake, but it has to be the replica, a copy of how your interviewer is offering. So generally, we say that when we are holding hand, it has to be firm, not very tight and not very loose, but firm. Yes, it needs to be locked properly. Okay. And like I said earlier, be very, very careful about not being fidgety. Don't be fidgety. Don't. We tend to take our pens. We tend to shake our pens. We tend to shuffle around. We tend to look here and there. These are signs of nervousness. So it's very important that you stay focused. And last but not the least is you need to face the person you're speaking with. Now, when I say you need to face the person you're speaking with, you may have 2 people in the panel. You may have 3 people in the panel. So if somebody has asked you a question, say Mr. X asked you a question. So very nicely and very slowly, you will shift your gaze to Mr. X, wherever he's sitting. And you will say, thank you so much for your question, sir. And you will speak to him. So you must always face the person you are speaking with. So guys, any questions related to this so far? I hope it is understood. And any question you want to ask?
Students, you can actually one by one ask all your questions from ma'am. In fact, ma'am, why don't we start with a viewer on Zoom, Bodhakunta Vamshi Krishna says, how could be the dressing and grooming be in terms of an interview?
Very important. See, when I say interview, it's your appearance. How you see a person creates the first impression. So how you dress up, how you present yourself. It's like, if I give you example, Harmeet, it's a very silly example, which I keep giving it to my student. It's like wrapping son papdi in a nice gift wrapping paper and presenting it to someone on Diwali. So it is same son papdi, what we eat, but it is how we wrap it.
Wow, what a wonderful example, ma'am. Yes, Sumesh, you have a question. Go ahead.
Hi, Sumesh.
Hi, Aparna, ma'am. I have a question. Actually, I have an issue with my pitch of my voice. And it's like if person is sitting next to me, it's good if we are talking. But sometime in interview, what they set the chair a far bit far. So in that case, if I'm trying to speak loud, it sounds like I'm shouting. But if I speak lower, like less, then it's like I'm maybe not confident enough, or they are not properly getting me what I'm saying. So in that case, what should I do? Could you please guide?
Sure, Sumesh. Well, Sumesh, I remember sharing this in a classroom as well, that mirror exercise is the most important exercise. So in today's world, when we have technology with us, we have the ability to record ourselves. So my suggestion to you would be that take anything, take a reading, take a small paragraph from a newspaper or from any book and try and read it and record yourself. You will get the answer. You will get to know how much loud your pitch needs to be. How much more softer can you make it? And Harmeet, I also want to add something here is in today's world when everything is on virtual platform. So our life has come in this box. Okay. So I see a lot of students, they do not know, and it is, of course, unintentionally, which I told you, body language is mostly unintentionally. They do not know that people tend to see them and they compare them with that rectangle. So if I'm slightly shifted this side, so what will happen? The alignment will change towards slightly this side. And it is very distracting. We all have a kind of OCD. So same goes with voice, Sumesh. So when you tend to speak little louder, what happens is that you also need to check your mic. How close is your mic? How far you've kept your mic? And most importantly, you need to assess and analyze yourself. Keep 2 recordings, keep 3 recordings, keep looking at those recordings, that where you are pausing, where are you going a little higher with your pitch. It's very important.
I think Aparna ma'am, one very important thing which I've seen students not doing is regular practice. I think you cannot just go there out in an interview and expect that okay fine, you know what, I'm gonna sit with 10 training sessions with Aparna ma'am and मेरे को सब आ गया. ऐसे नहीं होता है. You need to go in front of the mirror, listen to your own self.
Didn't we all do it, Harmeet? We used to stand in front of mirror and practice our pitches.
In fact,
So
we used to read the newspapers out aloud, right?
Absolutely. So it has always been, it is successful trick. So Sumesh, next time do try this, and please feel free to come back to me. I'll help you further.
Well, Sumesh, we'll take a second question from you in some time. Kiran, you have anything to ask from ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Kiran.
Ma'am, I have a question that is regarding when we go for the interview. So it is quite obvious that the students tends to be nervous at times. So how is this possible that we should like quietly just avoid the things that we do? We don't like to show up our nervousness. So how can we avoid that? The interview won't be like.
Great. Kiran, I understand I hear you. And believe you me, it's not only students, everybody tends to get nervous. Okay. That butterfly in stomach is very important. It keeps you going. Okay. So well, to answer your question here, Kiran, everybody's nervous. It is how you camouflage it, how well you act that you're not nervous. And to do that, you have to, there's a lot of self-talking which happens. What you keep telling yourself that, it's all good. Most importantly, we humans tend to be nervous when we have not practiced well, when we don't have ample information with us. When we have practiced well and we are well prepared, the nervousness is slightly lesser than normal. And believe you me, the nervousness is only till you open the door, you enter, and then once you sit, you will be good to go. There's nothing. But yes, do remember the tips what I shared with you. And it is very, very important that you need to keep smiling. Smile hides everything.
Sure,
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking that up for us. Kirti, you have any question for ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, good evening, ma'am.
Very good
I
evening.
just have one question, ma'am. Like generally in all the interviews, they'll be asking the last person, like, what are your expectations, or do you have any questions for us? So how could we really answer this question?
Well, this is not a question for body language. However, I would like to take this question. It is very important to ask question, because so far the recruiter is asking you question and you are replying. And this is your chance. One, on a lighter note, to get back at them. Don't take it seriously, okay? It is your chance to actually show that you have done your research well. So when you ask them question, you are giving them assurance about that you're serious about getting in the company, and also you're serious about your career. So a good question would be that what is going to be my growth in this organization? How am I going to grow in this organization? So with this, what you're doing, you're acing your interview. You're going to up your game further by because the interviewer is going to think that Kirti is very much hardworking girl and she wants to work hard, and that is why she's asking me this question, and she's looking for her growth. So a person who's career conscious will always work hard. So I hope that answers your question.
That's so true that a person who's career conscious will always work hard. Ma'am, why don't we do a quick game live? Why
Yeah.
don't you select two students out of the three, and then you ask them a question like a recruiter,
Okay.
and then maybe after they answer, maybe you can quickly guide them on the things to do and things not to do, right?
Sure.
um you can go ahead with any of the students you want to go with.
Okay. So you want me to take two students or one?
Anything you want to do. You want to go ahead with two students, you want to go ahead with one.
So fine. So so let me Sumesh. So Sumesh, can we get started? Okay. Fine.
Sure, ma'am. Please.
So let's have a role play. I am the recruiter, and you are here to join the organization, right? Okay. Hi, good evening. Kindly introduce yourself.
Very good evening, ma'am. First of all, I like to say thank you so much for giving me your time. My name is Sumesh. I'm from Haryana. I have done my graduation from my hometown Bhiwani, Haryana, and right now I'm pursuing MBA from JDG College. And here I am. Thank you so much. This is from my side.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sumesh. Sumesh, why did you decide to do MBA?
Ma'am, I am really fond of with the thought of, I'm really like to go in a corporate sector. So as we see, even I can go after my graduation, but as we all know that master's degree in a business management is very important for the growth. So why would I just go for the 2 years work and then I decided to do my degree and then I have to left down. So I just so it's a kind of a flow that right now I'm just graduating and then I do my masters and then I will go towards the sector. So I like to polish my skills of management so I can serve best to your organization.
Great. So, Sumesh, may I know your interests?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I really like to internet surfing and I really like to paint.
Okay. So, what kind of painting do you do? Do you sketch or do you paint?
I do sort of everything. It's depend on my mood. Sometimes I do sketching, sometimes I do painting, sometimes mandala art. So,
Wow. Amazing.
yes, ma'am.
Great. So thank you so much, Sumesh. It was pleasure meeting you, and the HR will soon get in touch with you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. You have a wonderful day ahead, and all the
Okay.
best for your future endeavors.
Wish you same, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So, Harmeet, would you want me to give the feedback right away?
Yes, absolutely,
Yes?
ma'am. We
Great.
would want to know the feedback right away.
Right. So, Sumesh, first of all, I understand. So, relax, just breathe, just let it go. Okay. Well, Sumesh, to start with, when we talk about introduction, we are a very diverse country, and we generally tell people to refrain from giving away your place of birth, origin. So you can go, you can start that hello, good evening, my name is Sumesh, and I am currently pursuing. So it has to be a chronological order. So what you are doing right now has to come on top. So I'm currently pursuing master's from GD Goenka, right? So this is first, and then graduation. Okay. And another observation which I had was I asked you a second question wherein when you are slightly unaware of the answer, keep it crisp, concise, so that you do not deviate from the topic. Okay, so your sentence should be short, crisp, and that will bring the clarity. And the third question was, what are your interests? I know we all like, who doesn't like web surfing? Everybody likes it, but it cannot be interest. It is taken as that, like how parents tell you that, kya time pass kar rahe ho? Right? So this is how the recruiter will also perceive it. So choose an interest apart from surfing that can reflect you as a person you are. Like you said, painting. Now, so my quick question to you was, what kind of painting? So keep the answer ready. What kind of painting do you like? So the recruiter might ask you, who's your favorite painter? So you should have answer for that as well.
Might ask you a counter question, right, ma'am?
Yes, they will keep asking you counter question on your hobbies, on your interests. So whichever interest you choose, you should be well versed with it. Do not lie. Do not try and say something for the sake of it. That's what I want to say. I hope that helps, Sumesh. So next, sorry, you want to ask something?
Yes, Sumesh, go ahead.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, as you just said, be yourself. So is this we totally, if we are honest with ourselves in interview, don't you think sometimes it's backfire, or do we need to polish our answers? Sometimes we think so to represent ourselves best to them, we do some kind of things. So is this ethical something or what?
No, see, I'm not saying that hide the facts. I am just saying do not keep everything as an open book. There is something you have to keep to yourself. And I know Sumesh because I have interacted with Sumesh. So I know what kind of person she is. However, the person who's meeting you for the first time may not know, things about you. So first impression, generally, it's like how you see in movies, Harmeet, when we see old Hindi movies, a groom has come to see a bride, and both are at their best. Finally,
absolutely.
So that doesn't mean you're faking. You're just projecting yourself better.
It's the best version of yourself you want to project out there.
Absolutely. Bang on.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I have a couple of questions I would want answers to. Firstly, so Aparna ma'am, what is the impact of body language in an interview? Like we just saw in the explainer video that 70% of the communication is done via body language.
Absolutely.
What is the impact of body language in an interview?
See, you remember we were watching a video right now, and you told me that it is just 7. The video was talking about that it is 7% of verbal communication which is counted. So if I break it down further, it is 38% voice tone modulation, your pauses, and 55% of your body movement. That is your facial expressions, your hand movements, hand gestures. So it is very intriguing. It is very, important.
So basically, sorry, ma'am, to cut you. This is so fascinating and so interesting in its own way that, so for example, if a recruiter is there and the recruiter is obviously judging 10, 15, 20 people in a day. So even before you enter, he already knows from your body language, what you or what the person who's come for an interview has in mind. Is that so?
Yes, absolutely. And imagine that, when you enter, you sit. And if you're sitting slightly on the edge of the chair, it'll ensure that the recruiter is not taking you, because he will know that he'll catch you, that, you're nervous, you're eager to leave. So you caught in a wrong place. So it is very, very important that we always wear a positive body language.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Gaurav says, I did, ma'am. I think Gaurav is trying to relate to you in the sense that, the right body language in an interview, this is something with all students go through.
I agree because, like I said, I'm repeating this again and again. It is very unintentional. We are not aware of this body language. To validate this, I'll give you one more example. You'll see a group of 5 people standing, and if the sixth one joins, if we do not open that circle, or if we do not move, tilt our body towards the sixth person, that person is going to move away, because
Correct.
he will feel that he's unwelcomed in that
Group.
gathering, in that group.
Correct. Correct.
So it's very it's very interesting. The body language, reading the body signs, it's very, very interesting. And trust me, all recruiters are used to reading the body language.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
I think
Yes.
Gaurav has something to
I
ask.
have asked something, ma'am. Please check question and answers. Sure. Harmeet, ma'am, you mentioned that taking a pause when you speak, right? Yesterday, there was an interview of SMC regarding internship to everyone. And I saw students were taking a pause of 4 to 5 seconds. And then after that, HR said to them, we'll get back to you. What is the reason, ma'am? Why HR did this to us? First, he was taking an interview in a right way. But when it comes to towards the end, he told us that tell me your name and which field you choose, because I don't have much time. That's what he said to us. Well, he's talking about a fact that उसके साथ एक घटना हुई जहाँ पे रिक्रूटर उनके साथ इंटरव्यू में आए, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से स्टार्ट किया. So it's both ways he's talking about कि
Okay.
then he quickly wrapped it up and he left. तो इसका क्या मतलब होता है?
Uh, see, uska, if I dive deep into it, it depends. Then actually, the recruiter is in hurry, has to go somewhere, has to attend something. So I don't know. I don't have a clear answer for this, but yes, sometimes see, it is how welcomed we are, how whatever we say, our body has to agree with it. And most of the time, when there is a disagreement between the verbal and non-verbal communication, we tend to shoo away people who are talking to us.
I think in such a situation also, Aparna ma'am, from the student's point of view, looking at the positive attitude, if you can still, tell them by when can we get an answer? Can I get your email ID? Can I follow up with you? I think this is the way the student should be approaching something like that, right?
Yeah, mostly like that, of course. But sometimes it may go against, in terms, people do not want to share their personal details. So patience is the key. If they feel they have done well in the interview, the recruiter will, nobody wants to lose out on the talent. So if you have done
Absolutely.
well, you will be certainly called back again.
Because it's both ways. If
Both.
the students are finding a job, the recruiters are also looking for young
Absolutely.
talent, as you
Absolutely.
said.
Yes.
Right? Kiran, you had a question. Please go ahead. Yes, Kiran, you had a question.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me the chance. Ma'am, I had the question that it is not what we showcase inside the interviewer's room. It is, I think that whatever we are taking inside from outside, it determines how we are gonna perform in the interview. So, what are the things that we should look forward when we are outside the room before entering into before getting into interviews? So, this is my question.
Okay, absolutely. So if I want to say that, what Kiran said was a very valid point, Harmeet. It's not what we say, it is how we say. Right? That's what you wanted to say, Kiran?
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Yes. Okay. So, yes, before entering the war zone, what you can do is you can just calm yourself. It's always good to reach the venue before time. Why? Because we human tend to, once we're familiar with the surrounding, it becomes easier for us to perform. Okay. Or it's a common human thing. So try and be early. Be there. Doesn't matter if you are half an hour early. Sit, move around, get familiar to the faces who are around in the venue. So that way you will start feeling comfortable. Go to a quiet place. uh, Washrooms are the best, trust me on that. Stand in front of mirror. uh, Say your introduction 2 times, 3 times, and after that, ensure that once you enter, before you enter the interview, I mean the room, and you before you are before you go and face the recruiter, it is very important that you breathe, you ease your tension. Keep your palms open, don't close them. Okay, you tend to sweat when you're sitting outside. Even when while waiting, if you keep your palms closed, you will tend to sweat more, and sweating is not good. We all tend to sweat. So these are few things you can try before meeting the recruiter.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Right. There's Ninja Gaming who says how to manage fillers during an interview, and he also quotes a very popular, movie dialogue from the movie Pushpa, "कि कभी भी झुकने का नहीं" in an interview. so,
So
so he's
I want to try that. Okay.
right. So
Okay.
he's saying how to fill in the fillers in an interview. Shweta also says, "मैं झुकेगा नहीं." This is something.
Great. I could see that. I could read that. Okay.
Right.
Fillers is something everybody uses. We all use fillers because we are Indians. Let's understand this. Our thinking process happens in our mother tongue, in our language we are comfortable with, and then our brain starts processing it in English. So don't make it obvious that you are using ah, and don't repeat words. I see a lot of students using also, but, like that, these as fillers. So don't repeat what you're saying. If you feel that you're forgetting your script, if you feel that you are, hunting for words, so it's better to pace yourself down. Don't be in hurry to finish your sentence.
Absolutely. I'm just take your time, think of what you have to say, and then
Exactly. And then you can just put it across. Don't be in hurry. Mostly, I feel that students are in hurry. Their generation is Gen Z, so they are always in hurry. So please
yes.
slow down.
Right, ma'am. Acha, ma'am, my next question to you is non-verbal communication builds a positive quotient like we saw in the video as well.
Absolutely.
How, ma'am? Exactly how? How does that happen?
So I'll to start with this, I'll give you a very small example, which we are right now. When I'm talking to you or students are talking to us, so we are trying to smile at each other. So we have created that comfort zone wherein we can communicate easily with each other. So it is very, very important because recruiters tend to judge you. They tend to see what kind of person you are via your body language. And if you're fidgety, say you're moving too much, so whatever you're trying to say will not mean anything. The recruiter will be, you will be interrupting the recruiter. He or she will not be focusing on what you're saying. Rather, his or her attention would be on what you're doing. So it is very important that you all the time have a positive body language.
Right. So that is how, step by step, you establish that, yourself in an interview, and that is very, very important. And slowly, step by step, you enhance your positive quotient, right?
Absolutely. It cannot happen in a day. You need to practice. You need to be, aware of your own body language. And the best way, like I was telling Sumesh also, please record yourself. See how you're talking while talking, because what happens when we are talking to someone, we don't see ourselves. We don't know how we are talking. But when you record yourself, you will see, how welcoming is your posture, how well you are able to have a positive eye contact, how often you are smiling.
Right, right, right.
Kind of
There's
that
another.
atmosphere. Sorry.
It definitely does, Aparna ma'am. It definitely does. In fact, there's a student, Amit Raj says, NIT Sunstone Ed University placement kaisa hai, ma'am? Well, Amit, let me just tell you that the placements at Sunstone Ed University are centrally aligned. So it doesn't really matter whether it be NIT, NIU, GDG, or NSU Jamshedpur or CIM Calcutta. It's all centrally aligned, and the placement record is 150% placement. So we have a track record of getting more than one job offers for students. So for more updates, you can stay tuned. We'll very soon have a placement webinar, and you can take part and answer. You'll get all your answers from the placement webinar, right? Moving on, my next question, ma'am, to you is talking about non-verbal communication. We know that communication, whether it be any language, English, Hindi, Punjabi, whatever language you want to excel in, it takes time, right? But non-verbal communication also takes time. I mean, how much practice does a student need to excel in non-verbal communication?
Okay. There is no set time for it, Harmeet. But yes, it needs practice. Everything you do needs practice. First of all, you need to understand what is body language. Not everyone is aware about their body language. So self-awareness is important. Once you're aware of your body language, you see how it reflects on other, how people perceive you. Check with your friends. How do you find me when I'm talking to you? How do I appear to be? So these things, first you need to find out how is it relaying on others, what kind of message is it sending. And after that, it is regular practice. You need to see yourself in mirror, you need to record yourself, you need to see how you are talking, how do you appear while speaking. There are a lot of people who tend to be very serious the moment they are talking to you, and otherwise they're a very jolly person. But when they're talking to you, they tend to become very serious because they're constantly thinking, मुझे next क्या बोलना है, कैसे बोलना है. So my suggestion would be just keep practicing your whatever you're going to say. It could be anything. It could be your introduction. उसमें शिद्दत चाहिए, उसमें वो कन्विक्शन चाहिए कि जब आप कुछ बोल रहे हो, अपने बारे में जो बोल रहे हो वो सच है. So I'll again quote what Kiran said, it's not what you say, it is how you say.
Wow, absolutely. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. We'll take one of the last questions for today. Shweta Singh says, how can we use body language to create positive impression during an interview? I think we've already covered that, but ma'am,
Yes.
if you can please clarify again.
Absolutely, I will cover that again. So that was Shweta. Am I right, Harmeet?
Yes, ma'am. Shweta Singh.
Okay. So Shweta, very important. So how you walk when you enter a room, it's very important how you walk. Keep your body in a straight, have your back straight. So like if I'm sitting on the chair right now, see? So my shoulders are in a square form, right? So the frame is square. So how you sit, how you speak, always, whenever you're talking to someone, when you're addressing someone, have a proper eye contact. Ensure that you're facing them. And like I said, Harmeet, I want to elaborate it a bit. We humans tend to like people who are like us. Okay, so I will like Harmeet if she's just like me. है ना? This is a very common thing. ये चीज हमारे को already पता है. It's like paper आपके पास already, question paper आपके पास पड़ा है, and फिर भी आप आंसर नहीं लिख पा रहे हो, है ना? तो आपको ये पता है, it's a proven thing that we mirroring each other. So when we like someone, please mirror. So recruiter, जब भी recruiter है, तो मैं ये नहीं बोल रही कि आप उनको देख के, मतलब अगर वो ऐसे सर रखा है तो आप भी ऐसे रखो. It could be neck issue, huh? So don't do that. But yes, tend to mirror how they are talking to you, the pace. If they are smiling, so be very jolly, be smiling. If they are serious, be slightly reserved. So and please ensure that you do not you should be aware of the fidgety movements. I see a lot of especially with girls, Shweta. So you need to keep that in mind. So girls tend to, play with their hair, right? So don't do it. Don't do it. And boys also, I've seen boys also. So you don't.
Have their spikes, no, they keep doing this. I've seen a
So
lot of guys doing that.
yes, they do it. And sometimes, unintentionally we are playing with our ears. I know we are careful. We don't start picking our nose, but we tend to do certain things which we are not aware of. So be conscious. So Shweta says, okay. Oh, she's saying nodding yes for the hair. Yes, we girls do that. We always want to look trim and proper. So these are
Right.
things one can keep in mind. Be conscious of yourself. How
Right.
you're feeling.
I think Moinuddin has just raised his hand.
No problem.
We'll just see if we can make him talk to you. And Shweta says thank you. Yes, Moinuddin, can you hear us?
Yes, good evening to
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Moinatine.
What is your
Good evening,
question?
ma'am.
Can you
Ma'am,
please
my
quickly
question.
introduce yourself first? Where are you
Okay.
from?
Yes. My name is Moinuddin Khan. I'm from Pratapgarh, and currently I'm in BSc second year. I'm doing my graduation in computer science in BSc. Ma'am, my question is that today at this time I am preparing for some government exam like SSC and banking.
Right.
But everyone know that these are just a competitive exam, so we people cannot depend on this exam. But despite of this, I put my 100%. But if there is there is a circumstance by chance. So my father yesterday he asked to me that if you are not selected in this exam, means मान लो, consider if you are not selected, then what will you do? Then I was also confused, and what will I do? That now I have not do any मैंने अभी तक कोई प्रोफेशनल डिग्री तो की नहीं है, मींस मैंने कोई
Right.
बीटेक नहीं किया है, तो जिससे मेरे को एक मतलब एक अच्छी सी एज अ गुड सैलरी जॉब मिलेगी. तो ऐसे तो कोई चांसेस नहीं है, एंड बीएससी का तो कोई स्कोप ही नहीं है. एंड मैंने बीएससी का मैम टू बी ऑनेस्ट मैं इतना ज्यादा फोकस भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज
Mhm.
ऑफ आई एम फोकसिंग ऑन दिस कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन. सो यही है मैम कि मतलब क्या बन सकता है.
मतलब सबसे पहले मोइनुद्दीन, मैं आपको ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि पहले तो आप अपनी पैशन को फाइंड कीजिए. राइट. मैंने अपर्णा मैम बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को देखा है जो गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम्स के पीछे भागते हैं, जिनको गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम क्लियर कर, उसमें भी कोई खराबी नहीं है, अच्छी चीज है. अगर आपका दिल वहां जाता है तो आप जरूर वो करें. बट पहले आप अपने पैशन को रियलाइज करें दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डज योर हार्ट थ्राइव फॉर. डू यू वांट टू बी अ मैनेजमेंट प्रोफेशनल 5 years 10 years down the line?
मैम एक्चुअली सारा प्रॉब्लम ही यही है कि मुझे मुझे यही नहीं मालूम मेरा पैशन क्या है.
तो फिर मुझे लगता है सबसे पहले आपको जो करना चाहिए मोइनुद्दीन, वो है आपको काउंसलिंग में बैठना चाहिए. 1-2 बार काउंसलिंग में बैठो. आई थिंक अपर्णा मैम इसके बारे में आपको ज्यादा अच्छे से गाइड कर पाएंगी. शी इज अ सीनियर एंड शी नोज थिंग्स बेटर. अपर्णा मैम, ओवर टू यू.
थैंक यू हरमीत. You very rightly said. मोहिदीन, क्या होता है ना कि हम लोग स्पेसिफिकली इन इंडिया हमारे फैमिली प्रेशर होता है. सो हम बहुत सारी चीजें, जैसे हम अपना सब्जेक्ट, कौन सा सब्जेक्ट लेना है 10th के बाद, हम लोग इस चीज को लेके वो सब्जेक्ट चूज करते हैं कि किसमें हमें जॉब मिलेगी, rather than जैसे हरमीत मैम ने बोला, we do not follow our passion. So it's very important first to understand what is your passion, what do you like to do. आपको किस चीज में अच्छा, मतलब क्या, किस चीज से सुकून मिलता है, क्या चीज करने से आपको अच्छा लगता है. एंड like Harmeet ma'am said, you need to go for counseling sessions. Do not, it's a cliche term, counseling क्यों. समटाइम्स सामने वाला आपको एक अलग नजरिए से आपको चीजें दिखा सकता है. इट्स अ वेरी गुड थॉट. यू आर परस्यूइंग गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम, यू वांट टू गो फॉर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम. अच्छी बात है और बहुत मुश्किल है, एक्चुअली बहुत मुश्किल है. नॉट एवरीबडी कैन क्रैक इट, बट देन योर हार्ट शुड बी with that exam. Otherwise, you will not be able to succeed in your life.
Right. Thank you. In fact, Moinuddin, हमारा जो counseling, आप एक काम कर सकते हो. If you want a free counseling session, you can leave your number on the chat section to us, and we will make sure that our counselors get in touch with you. You can have a free counseling session. You can actually talk to them, and maybe not in the first session, maybe by the end of second session, you will realize a little bit about what exactly do you want to follow, right? वो बहुत बहुत important है career के लिए, right, Moinuddin? Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much for connecting with us.
मैम
Thank you.
नेक्स्ट काउंसलिंग सेशन कब होगा?
ये काउंसलिंग सेशन नहीं है, लाइव सेशन है. यू कैन एक्चुअली लीव योर नंबर इन द चैट सेक्शन एंड आवर काउंसलर्स विल गेट इन टच विद यू.
ओके
राइट. थैंक यू सो मच.
All the best for your exam, Mohiddin.
All the
थैंक यू मैम.
best.
थैंक यू मैम.
Okay.
I think Kirti has some question.
Yes, Kirti, we'll just take that up. Shweta, if you can, Shweta wants to talk to us.
Okay.
Time, yes, we are already running late on time, but Shweta, आपको quickly question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Shweta, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Shweta Singh. I'm from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. I'm from NSU campus.
Yes. Oh, you're a student. Yes, go on.
Yeah, I'm a student. My question is, everyone gets a little nervous about their jobs, and what is the gesture, ma'am? Everybody talk about proper your gesture and kind of. So I want to know about the perfect gesture.
Okay. So, Harmeet, I think that the question is for me. First of all, Shweta, very pretty DP. You look very pretty. And
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Shweta, nervousness होना बहुत common है. Everybody gets nervous. ठीक है? तो इसमें कोई there's no harm in getting nervous. Like I mentioned that it is how well you can camouflage your nervousness. ठीक है. सो जब हम जेस्चर्स की बात करते हैं, जेस्चर्स मतलब आपके हाथ के मूवमेंट, आप बात कर रहे हो तो जब लाइक आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू, आई एम मूविंग माय हैंड्स कॉन्स्टेंटली. दिस वन it is a open posture. It is allowing me to build that equation with you. ठीक है. So it comes with practice, Shweta. So being nervous is okay. So next time when you go for interview, tell yourself it's okay. It's okay to be nervous. But yes, do prepare well. Do prepare your introduction well. Do keep a check on your grooming. Do keep a check on your body language. It should be positive, and ensure that you smile. We tend to get nervous and we do not smile. And that is where we falter in our interviews.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, one question is what should we in speaking? What should we voice tone?
Voice tone, like Shweta, अभी आप जैसे बात कर रहे थे, तो हम सबकी वॉइस का एक टेक्सचर होता है. ठीक है. किसी की वॉइस भारी होती है, किसी की वॉइस बहुत पतली होती है. So you should know your voice. That is why I had suggested Sumesh also that first of all you need to understand आपकी voice किस तरीके की है. भारी है तो आप थोड़ा जोर से भी बोलोगे तो ठीक लगेगा. But अगर पतली है, थोड़ा चिल्ला के बात करोगे, जोर से बात करोगे तो लगेगा you're screaming, you're shouting. Okay, so you should be aware of what kind of voice you have, and that is how you can change your pitch.
Right. Shweta, hopefully we could answer that question. We are running out of time now. We are already surpassed time. Kirti, quickly put your question towards,
Yes,
Aparna ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. How important is your hand movement gestures? How does it create a positive impression on the interviewer?
Very important. It shows that you're comfortable in your skin. So when you keep moving hands, it shows that you're comfortable. You're at ease, you're not nervous. Otherwise, जैसे हिंदी में नहीं बोलते, दुबक के बैठा हुआ कोई इंसान, है ना, बोलते हैं ना. So when you're scared, what do you do? When you're scared, when you are feeling cold, when you're feeling nervous, what do? You hold yourself and you sit like this and you start shaking your legs. But when you're moving your arms, आपकी body खुल जाती है, open होती है. So it is more welcome. And it shows that you're confident.
Thank you,
I
ma'am. Thank
hope
you so much.
I hope I answered your question.
Right, ma'am. We'll take one last question
Sure,
on the live YouTube chat.
no problem.
There's another student who's saying. I mean, there's a ID. It's called Time to Laugh. It's saying, can we go with the Hindu dot in the forehead? I'm a Hindu. I really want to understand this. Very valid question.
Yes, it's a very valid question. I know. I know when I say this that one should have a freedom to practice a religion, but that is religion is your personal choice. So that is why when we go for interviews, we do not want to give away our religion, and that is the only reason it is total no. You should not put I mean tilak, or you should not display anyhow. I mean, which religion do you practice?
Right, right. Thank you so much, Aparna ma'am, Kiran, Sumesh, Kirti. It was lovely having all of you guys in the panel. First, we'll ask the students how was the session for you guys, and of course, everybody on the YouTube chat and on the Zoom chat. How did you like the session today, students?
Yes, ma'am.
It's really good. Thank you so much. Very informative. We learned so many things. Thank you
Lovely.
so much.
Kiran, how was the session?
Ma'am, it's given me an immense pleasure to be part of this session, and it really widened our knowledge regarding these topics. And like tomorrow, I am going to have a GD round, so I was looking forward. Like it is a like
Amazing.
yeah, it is
So
like
you've got all the hacks from us, right?
exactly. It really worked. So I'll be looking forward. Like I'm consulting all the points, and I'll just be working on it. So
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
guest also.
Kirti, what about you? Did you enjoy?
It was, yes, ma'am, it was really amazing knowing all the things, and it's very important for us to know about how to behave and all. It's all about our future. Thank you so much for giving us time, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. Lovely to have Kirti, Sumesh, Kiran, and all the students on the YouTube and on the Zoom chat. Shweta is already saying, great, I got my answers, ma'am. Awesome. Aparna, ma'am, how did you like the session
Uh,
today?
it
Answering
was
all the.
it was wonderful, Harmeet. Thank you so much, and thank you all the students who are part of this session today. I had an amazing time knowing you all, answering your questions, and sharing my experience with you all. So, like I said, it's over the years. With training, you tend to learn these things, and as a felicitator, I feel. I take immense pride when I see my reflection in my students. So, thank you so much, and wishing you all the best, Kiran, for your GD tomorrow. And stay safe, stay healthy. So,
Thank you.
that's all from
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. In fact, I can see a lot of comments on the YouTube chat section as well. Gospel says informative session. Aryan says it was very informative for me. Thank you, ma'am. Time to Life says a victory sign. And Gospel also says thank you, ma'am. Right? And on that note, interview में interview देने का और झुकने का नहीं. Right?
very. So
Uh,
I'll have the
I
last
we have that last thing.
the hook
Right?
step.
Absolutely. With this, we come towards the end of the third episode of the Sunstone Classroom Experience Sunstone Study Cards, the right body language in an interview. Thank you to all the viewers on Zoom, YouTube for watching us till the end. If you have any questions or feedback, you can actually type that on the chat section or write to us at connect@sunstone.edu.in. Connect@sunstone.edu.in. In today's class, we learned that body language and nonverbal communication both are equally important to ace that interview right. Thereby, one thing is for sure, start practicing today. Right. And if you like our content, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you haven't done that yet. Right. Please stay tuned on our YouTube community page and subscribe to our channel for attendance to the next classroom. We will meet you in the next episode of the Sunstone Study Card Series, episode 4, same day, same time, Friday, 11th of February at 7 p.m. This is me, Harmeet Sahadev, signing off. Thank you. Can you please tell me the YouTube channel name? Someone said, well, Sunstone University is the YouTube channel name, right? This is me, Harmeet.